Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Market Prep. I hope you're having an amazing morning. Hope you guys had an incredible day yesterday. Good morning, Peter. How you doing today?
Good morning, Carlos. I'm happy to be back. So, yes, it's a good morning, nice and warm and sunny here. Already been out for a little bit of tennis this morning and back ready
Sweet.
for the markets.
Excellent, man. Excellent.
How was your
I know we had
weekend and
weekend
Monday?
was
Did yesterday go well? You were sort of doing it solo yesterday.
yeah, flying solo, which turned out all right, and not too bad. But we definitely sure missed you in the rants and all the economic data and news. So we missed that. But yeah, good day yesterday. How was your weekend? I know you went camping with your family, and it seems like it turned out good. But you had mixed reviews on if they enjoyed it or not.
Well, they said they had fun, but also said they wouldn't be camping again anytime soon. So I'm not sure what to make of that. But it was first time camping for them, so I think it was just a new experience. Like a lot of city folk, bugs bother them, so you got to get used to that.
Mm,
They're out there. What can you do?
yeah,
You
yeah,
hide in the smoke of the campfire, right? That's what I told them. I said it's natural bug repellent. You just get yourself all
absolutely.
smoky, and then the bugs will stay away. So, anyways, but I think they had fun. It was good. The weather was perfect. So yeah, a lot of fun. Happy to be back in
Awesome.
civilization myself.
It's good for a couple of days, then you got to come back a
Exactly.
little bit, back to the
So,
comforts of the world, right? So,
yep.
all right, let's take a look here. U.S. economic calendar. Let's jump in that, and then we'll look at our gappers list, which seems to be heavier on the red side this morning.
Yeah, so not a lot happening on the economic calendar, frankly. We have just a couple of things that are coming up later this morning. Nothing this morning. We've got the home price index that's coming out at 9 so that'll be during the show here. We can talk about that when it comes out, but again, don't expect the market to do much as a result. Consumer confidence and job openings might cause a little bit more of a reaction to the market. We had to keep in mind the market is really waiting for the big rate announcement that's happening tomorrow. So tomorrow's the big day. Now the expectation right now is that there's going to be no rate change for tomorrow, but there will be a rate change in September. So we'll see if that plays out. Basically, if that happens, then there won't be much of a reaction from the markets. If, however, there is a rate change tomorrow, well, you know what? The markets will be sort of caught unawares, and we are going to see a big market movement. So yeah, 95.9% expectation that there's going to be no rate change tomorrow. But if I move to September, there is a 89, so 90% expectation there will be a rate decrease. So everybody seems to be aligned. And if there's one thing the markets have told me personally over the years is when everybody agrees on something, that's rarely the thing that happens. So but that usually applies to price movement, right? Like usually it's when everybody agrees a stock is going up. That's usually when you see like a pullback or something unexpected happens, right? So, anyways, I'm just want you to be prepared for the unexpected, but the expectation is that there's going to be no rate change tomorrow. So we'll see what happens. For today, I'll let you know about the home price index at 9, and then at 10 o'clock, keep your eyes open, especially if you're trading the open, for those two numbers, the consumer confidence and job openings. What we do have today is a whole bunch of earnings. We have got earnings continue. Some of the exciting ones have passed. We still have some to come later this week. We got some big ones, right? Apple is still to come. Intel, Roku, which used to be a fun trader, not so much. Donkey Kong, as we like to call it, DraftKings is coming up. But for today, fairly quiet. We've got some of the staple manufacturers, with Procter and Gamble and Pfizer and a couple others out there. So we'll talk about a few of those because they are on our gappers list, and see what we can find to trade that is of interest this morning.
Yep, absolutely. Looking forward to it. Should be fun. Fun week. I don't know about today, but it should be a fun week. Let's take a look here, guys, at our gappers list today, right now. Currently, PayPal, JetBlue, Nordstrom, I believe that is, and Harmony, which I'm not too fond of. But the first three, we see these guys when they're doing some kind of news. They don't move a whole lot, right? I think PayPal 8% this morning. So we'll look at that, probably earnings. And then gapping down today, we're seeing a bunch of NVAX. Some of these we're very familiar with: PG, CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike back on the list. They kind of went sideways for a little bit, or at least quiet in our gappers list. But they're back on this morning, so let's see what's going on there. And some other ones, MRK doesn't trade very well, but we'll go through them and see what we can find here. All right, top of the list this morning. Let's start with HA, which what is this? Why is this on my list? This is only
Hawaiian Airlines.
160,000 shares traded. It looks horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, this shouldn't be here actually. So I don't know why our scanner is picking it up. I only show 161,000 shares traded. I don't like it, Peter. Anything to even talk about this? Looks garbage.
Well, Hawaiian Airlines. It does have news. They are supposed to be having a merger with Alaska Air, and they
Oh,
have agreed to extend the review period on this. Now, I would think that's a bad news, assuming that the acquisition is considered a good thing. But the stock is gapping up slightly this morning. As you said, volume is pretty low. Not going to be a good trader. I don't think. I don't expect there to be enough volume to make it super interesting. So, like you said, Carlos, it's not quite garbage, but it's just boring.
yeah, it doesn't look fun. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So again, in play, I just don't think they're going to get the volume. And one that is going to be fun, and I'm going to have on my list because I love when these guys, I believe it's earnings here. I love when they're trading well, and they are up 8.3, 3.1 million shares traded. When these guys are in play, they can be very fun to trade. So, Peter, is the earnings this morning? Looks like on PayPal.
Exactly. Yep. They had earnings this morning. They beat their numbers and raised their guidance. Always good news when that happens. So PayPal is feeling like it's going to be that they had a good quarter and they're going to have another good quarter. So yeah, PayPal is feeling strong today. Now this could be in play. Volume usually starts fairly light on PayPal. I'm surprised to see the 3 million shares already. So yeah, I think this one is good enough to go on the list. It looks like it's in play. We hope to see some good movement after the market opens.
Yeah, I like it. It's going to be on my list here, guys. So the first one on my list would be PayPal. Next is going to be JetBlue. So JBUL. It's on deck here, just barely making our list. This is not in play. And I think, I don't know, but airlines, I believe, have reported. I know American Airlines reported already. Delta
Jet,
reported already. So did JetBlue report already, or is
JetBlue
it today?
JetBlue reported this morning, so that's why we're
They
seeing them
did. Okay.
here. Yeah, JBLU ticker here. They had a good quarter. They beat their numbers. Largely, though, it's because they had a delay in the acquisition of some Airbus planes that they said that they committed to. They just pushed them out a little bit. Now, that could be bad for them because they need those to add into circulation. So delaying the acquisition of them could, in the short term, it makes them more profitable. In the long term, it could cause some problems as they have less revenue generating opportunities without these new planes. In addition, they've had some issues, as a lot of companies have had, with the increased inspections on any of the Boeing turboprop or turbo planes with the issues that they've had. They've had, just suffered from like increased service times because they've had to have these extra inspections. So JetBlue had a good quarter. Don't get me wrong, but just looking down the road, if you're swing trading this or long term investing it, I'd be cautious. It feels like they're setting themselves up for some trouble in the upcoming quarters or maybe in a year out. So we'll see what happens. But for this morning, it's sort of in play. Like you said, Carlos, it doesn't look great. Like there's the price action is very, very spotty this morning. Volume is low. I don't usually watch this, so I probably won't watch it today either.
Yeah, yeah. Um, there you go, friends. So we'll look at it. So that news from Boeing, does it's affecting Boeing?
No,
It's really not. No, it's not. Okay, so it's not moving them a whole lot, at least right now.
no.
We'll see what JetBlue does. Again, I think with all the airlines reporting already, they kind of did their move in a sympathy play. You're not going to get a whole lot from this. We know how the airlines are doing; they're not doing great. You saw Delta with the big earnings drop. You saw American Airlines with their big earnings drop as well. So I just don't think you're going to see a whole lot out of JetBlue. Looking at the next one here, I'm not a big fan of HMY. HMY this morning, yeah, and this is why. Just look why is this on here? It's 53,000 shares traded. I got to check what's going on with my scanners.
Yeah, scroll down with your
Uh,
list. What's happening?
yeah, what's going on here? Do we allow garbage to get in here? For those that
Well,
don't know, you can always come here to tradeterminal.com and you can check your parameters. I want to show you this because someone was asking me this in our onboarding class last night, which was a lot of fun. So here's our scanners, tradingterminal.com. You can get these completely for free. Just head over to tradingterminal.com, and they're the ones that sponsor our show. We'll get Brent to bring that up on the screen here in just a second.
There's
There it
there's
is.
something going on with the market data this morning, Carlos, because I just checked it and
There
my
is.
settings are like yours, where we should only see it if it's over 200,000 shares traded. I only show 54,000, and yet this is on my list.
Right.
So I don't know what's going on
Not not sure what's going on. So, but if you
with the
want to check
market
that,
data.
guys, click on here. Yeah, click on menu, go to this little cog here, and you can see your filters. And yeah, I definitely have over 200,000 here. So I don't know what's going on. What am I reporting here? Reporting 2.3 million? Yeah, yeah, trading terminal. We got to get that figured out. That is not correct at all. So this is not in play. I'm not even going to look at it, Peter. Do you have any news on it you want to report? But it's really not in play.
No,
Yeah.
no, I don't.
Okay. Let's move on here to the next one, friends. It's going to be NVAX, and I'm just going to be checking the volume here, making sure it's supposed to be here. And this one looks like it is supposed to be here. So it is down 10%, 670,000 shares traded. So we do get some volume on it. What's the news, Peter? This thing dropping down a bit this morning, as you can see here.
Sorry, my screens just went crazy.
Hmm.
NVAX. So it's. I was gonna say it's a Monday. It feels like a Monday to me, but it is not. It's a Tuesday. They had a downgrade. J.P. Morgan, which is fairly influential, especially in reviewing this sector, actually downgraded them with a price target all the way down at $8. So they are really sort of giving a gut punch here to Novavax. And yeah, we're seeing it drop, I think, as a result of that. So will this be in play? I don't know. I don't like trading if the only news is sort of an analyst ratings change. It can be sketchy to trade, but this is with the amount it's down 11% and the expectation of it being so much lower. I might be worth watching if we don't find anything better, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. I like the movement we have this morning. I like the gap down 10%, but again, they have not been the best ticker to watch at times. They went to a little stretch where they did very, very well in June. They had some news, if I remember that. And then here, let's see what happens. I'm going to put it on a secondary for now, and I can always move this up depending how this list develops. Heading down to the next one is AGCO today. AGCO, it is garbage. All right, this shouldn't be here, so we're not gonna spend no time on it. It only has 22,000 shares traded, so I'm gonna move on. I don't want to
Yeah.
spend my time on garbage. I'd rather save that for Peter Rants today. We haven't had one in a while, so let's look at GLW. GLW this morning, down 6.5, 760,000 shares traded. So this thing is in play today. Looks very light on volume as far as the daily goes. What do they do? Corning
Corning.
Incorporated, whatever. I don't even know what this
Yeah.
is.
No, Corning. They're
No, what
like
is?
they're like a 3M, or they're sort of they make chemical products,
Hmm.
laminates and everything. I'm not sure if they make the Corning ware, but as well. But
Yeah, Peter, how do you know this company? Because I'm sure the regular consumer does not. How did you know about this company? Through trading,
uh,
or it was something you
no. Well,
ran into?
again, you can take a drink, but back in my corporate days, they were one of our
Okay.
clients, so
There
they were a big IT
there we go.
outsourcer. So, yeah.
I figure because nobody knows this company except unless you're somehow dealing with it, right? Unless you're in that
Yeah.
business, in that industry, you don't hear about this. Like
There you go.
CrowdStrike. You don't want to know about
Yeah.
CrowdStrike at all. And everybody knows it, not in a good way. Okay, that makes sense. All right, so they're down
So
this morning. What's
they're
going on?
another one on my earnings list this morning. They had sort of a mixed earnings report. They missed on revenue slightly, barely beat on bottom line earnings. So you can see they're gapping down a little bit this morning. You know what? This one is I've never seen this trade with alacrity. There's your word of the day, alacrity. So I've never seen it trade. It's with a lot of fun. That being said, I looked at the daily earlier. It is sitting in this gap, which could be interesting. It also happens to be right at this $40 point right now. I'm noticing on your chart, Carlos. So it could sort of move because in the middle of the gap is no man's land. So it could either move back to the top or the bottom of this gap. So maybe, but I don't know. I'm really skeptical about it. Let me check it out here.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
sure.
I don't like it. It's moved a lot already too, right? So it's kind of covering this gap up that it had before, right in the middle of it. I don't know. It's suspect at least. So I'm not sure if I'm going to add it, Peter, on my list, but it is in play today. It is in play. It's all about can it get the volume and can it trade well here.
Right.
Um, all right, excellent. Let's yeah, it's funny good comments in chat. All right, yeah, that's why because Peter when Peter was like, "Oh, you don't know Corning?" It made you feel like, "Oh, should I know this company?" But did anybody else know Corning? I'm curious to see.
Sorry. My bad.
People are getting ready to drink here. No, it's so good. I like it. It's funny. People are getting to drink. For the I did okay. So see, Peter, you're not alone. Everybody else did here. Some
All
people
right.
did. Yep, yep. Good kitchenware. Very nice. All right, there we go. All right, let's take a look at PG this morning. What do we have here? Procter and Gamble, and these guys are down 5.4, 482,000 shares traded. I wish they would trade a little bit better, but for the most part, I'm not a big fan of them. But today could be their day. If they're going to trade well, today is the day. Peter, how did they do? Not so good. It
Now
seems
this one we've heard of, right? Like toothpaste and laundry soap and baby wipes and all sorts of
like.
stuff.
Yes, this one.
You know?
This one we know. If you don't know this one,
Okay.
you're definitely living under a rock.
Okay, just making sure. All right. Yeah, so earnings this morning, mixed picture here. They missed on their top line revenue, but beat on earnings. Yeah, it sort of feel like I'm a broken record this morning. Sort of the same story. Doesn't typically trade good volume. It's sort of okay. I'm surprised at the size of the move down. Frankly, 5% is a fair amount for this. This is by no stretch a low float. Obviously, I think there's a little over 2 billion shares in the float. So for it to move 5% is fairly big. We'll see what it does at the open, but I'm not holding my breath on this one. I'd probably stick with like a PayPal or maybe even, well, I think there's some others we haven't talked about. So Pfizer. Have we talked about Pfizer? I don't think we've talked about
Not
Pfizer.
yet. You could bring it up now if you like, because I don't see it on the list here. Is that on earnings?
Yes,
Pfizer?
PFE,
Okay.
my good buddy Pfizer. They are gapping up this morning on earnings. They had a good quarter and raised their guidance. So good quarter this quarter, and they're telling us they expect another good quarter coming up. So and now then they're trading volume, right? They've got over 4 million shares already this morning, despite being a New York Stock Exchange stock. So this is one that does or can move anyways when it has earnings. So it's much more interesting to me than Procter and Gamble, for example. So that's why I was mentioning it.
All right, there we go. Yeah, I do like this one a little better. So we'll see. I'm gonna put it here in my secondary. Still not the best ticket to trade, but today 4.2 million shares trade. I do like that, and I will have it on the list here. Let's look at Peachy. We looked at GL. Did we look at GLW? Yes, this is the new company I just learned about. Not new company, the new company I just learned about and what they do. So let's look at MRK. MRK. Yeah, MRK is down. Is this one I know very well because it took up a whole chunk of New York, New Jersey's real estate here. Down 3.7, 526,000 shares trade. So a little bit of a drop. Not a whole lot of volume. This company does not move a whole lot, Peter. But they're down today. What's the latest and greatest?
Well, they are another earnings play, so beat their numbers, had a good quarter on the earnings, raised their guidance, and they said they've got a strong pipeline of drugs like Keytruda. I don't know what Keytruda is, but apparently that's one of their top drugs, and they say demand is strong. So they're expected to do well in the upcoming quarter. So interesting. Their profit guidance, they actually. Well, they lowered it slightly, but increased revenue. So, but I think this could very well be in play over the course of today. When we get Pfizer and Merck both reporting, right, they can sort of move together because it gets more interest in the sector. We'll see what happens, but probably a secondary at best.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I'm going to put that as a secondary, and I'm actually going to move up PFV because I was looking a little more closely. That's a lot of volume, man. 4.3 million, up 1.4. We just got to be patient, right? It might not give us the best move right at the market open. We might need to just kind of wait a little bit, let it settle down, and see where it goes from there. So we'll move Merck. I like it here in the secondary, and I like PFV primary list this morning. All right, one that's been creating a lot of noise and not in a good way is CrowdStrike. So these guys are down 3.4, even lower. I knew they were going to go lower. This thing is not going to go away. These companies have lost millions, especially airlines, because of these guys. Down 3.4, 383,000 shares traded right now. Not a whole lot of volume. Is this something we watched today, Peter? Is this in play, continuing all the madness we're seeing?
Look, yeah, this is the scavenger lawyers are circling. So there's some class action lawsuits that a couple of law firms are trying to get off the ground. One for securities fraud, saying that investors were misled about their prospects. I don't know how you claim that. I mean, this is an operational issue that caught everybody surprised. It's not like they did it on purpose or knew it was going to happen. It was an accident, but they have to bear the responsibility for that. But I don't think it's securities fraud. And then there's a second class action lawsuit for some of the customers that they're trying to get on board to seek damages for CrowdStrike's outage. I got to imagine that their user agreements protects them from this. Their own lawyers, I'm sure, will be working double time to make sure that they're protecting the company. But we trade off of the rumors, and right now it's just they're managing the backlash from all of this. So, like you said, Carlos, it's not going to go away for CrowdStrike as a company anytime soon, and whether that'll translate into tradable volume today is yet to be seen. But you might put it on out of interest. I mean, I look at the price range since the drop that it's had. Pretty narrow range. Not being said, it's a $250 stock, right? So those small moves still translate to like $7 to $10 type moves. But I don't know. The few days that I watched it, it wasn't great in terms of its tradability. It had a big spread, which made it more difficult to set an effective risk management plan.
Yeah. How was going to trade today, guys? I don't know. Like as Peter mentioned, it could be a good possible. It could be good to see how the market open treats it. Right now, we're down quite a bit. Again, we just continue to get slammed on this one. That is CrowdStrike. Last but not least, well, maybe least, we'll look at it. It's MT and definitely least. Let's roll the trucks on this thing. This should not be on here. So let me example MT. So so not good there. Peter, let's go to you. Any as far as what am I thinking here? Earnings. Any earnings or stuff that you like this morning that we haven't covered yet?
The only one that we haven't mentioned is BP, the company formerly known as British Petroleum. Once they followed the modern trend and just want to be called a BP now. So anyways, they had earnings this morning. They missed on revenue, beat on earnings, pretty mixed picture. They did announce that they're continuing with their $7 billion stock repurchase program. This might be in play. The other thing that came out as news with their quarterly earnings is they said that they've got some criticism that they were bulking up their earnings. The only reason why they beat bottom line is because they stopped their green energy programs to improve earnings because they're too expensive. And here's the Peter rant. If you wanted one, I'm all for I do think we need to go green and need to sort of do a little bit more to help our planet here survive. It's important. We live on it. It's the only place we got. But when you got a company like BP that is going to be rewarded for profitability, and the green fuel solutions that they've got are just more expensive for them, and you've got shareholders and markets that are saying you got to deliver, it's hard when you say you got to deliver and you got to do green stuff. So here's a good example of where BP said we had to make a choice. We're going to try and deliver some good numbers because that's what the shareholders expect. And frankly, probably more importantly, that's what their executives are probably rewarded on. Yes, they're going to halt those green programs and take the hit because they want their bonuses. So until we change those models more deeply, right, the economic models, frankly, this is what companies are going to do, whether you like it or not. So BP this morning, they did what they felt they needed to preserve their own skins, the executives on the inside and the market-facing perspective. They'll take the hit on. So there you go. This stuff happens. This is just an example of where we actually hear about it. So.
Yeah, yeah. Agree with that rant, man. Absolutely. Friends, let's go to you guys. See what you guys like this morning. People love the rant picture there from Peter with his fist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Me and
yeah. Yeah.
my cardigan. I got
Um,
to get a cardigan
yeah.
so I can actually wear one. I don't think I have
Yeah,
one.
it,
I'll have to
it
check.
could be something you hang there right next to you when you get ready to go. Just kind of throw it
Yeah,
on
just
the
just
rant.
slip
You
it
know,
on.
yeah,
Yeah, it might
slip
get me in
right
the
on, man.
mood for. All right, we'll see what I can do.
Absolutely,
All right,
absolutely. There it is. That's a great Photoshop, by the way. All right, let's. That is a pretty good job. All right, let's get into what you guys like this morning. Starting here with Kevin over on our chat. You're giving us Microsoft. Let's take a look at it this morning. When does Microsoft? Did they report already, or they're coming up?
I
Let's take a look at the
thought they
calendar
reported
here.
already, didn't they?
They
Yeah, they were
went.
like a week and a half ago.
No, it's to wait today. It's today. Microsoft
Oh
is today
my!
after
Did I
close. Yeah, yeah. So we have Microsoft
look
and
at
we
that
have your good
today after
buddy
the
AMD.
close?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The good buddy AMD. I do like Starbucks, right? Starbucks is also on here. I'm looking at tradingterminal.com, friends. That's where you can get this information. So we do have Microsoft, AMD, and Starbucks, which I'm looking forward to. So definitely some good ones there. So Microsoft right now, not doing a whole lot. Volume only 131,000 shares traded, which is really light, guys. That is very, very light volume. We usually trade a lot more than that. So maybe it's going to be quiet into their earnings tonight. But again, like you mentioned this earlier, Peter, a lot of stocks, a lot of companies, a lot of traders are just going to wait for the FOMC minutes and numbers. I mean, that is the big thing today. So some of these earnings might be a little bit muted as people are just gonna not gonna care as much about the earnings as much as they're gonna care about what are the interest rates going to do, right? That's gonna drive
Yep.
things much more bigger than Microsoft earnings. So unless they really, crap things over here. So pretty
Yeah.
quiet right now. I don't see it in play really. If you have the space, watch it. But I'm not showing anything that tells me, hey, this must be on our list today, right? Peter, do you
Yeah.
see the same way when it comes to Microsoft?
Absolutely, yeah. It's probably they're usually fairly quiet heading into earnings. There'll be a little bit of positioning, but yeah, it's not going to move a lot. Microsoft will be tomorrow. Now, like we were talking about, for those that weren't here a little earlier, we just mentioned about that rate. The rate decision is coming tomorrow. It's not today. It's tomorrow afternoon when that gets released, and then they got the press conference after. That's the way it's always scheduled. Again, what's unique a little bit about this one is that, like I said, when I look at the Fed Watch tool, it's 95.9% of all the analyst opinions are that there will be no rate change. The other 4.1% believe that there'll be a quarter point drop. So when you get that much commonality of opinion, if anything happens different from that, there will be blood in the streets. Like there'll be pandemonium a little bit because everybody's going to be caught, flat-footed. So if it comes out with no rate cut, then it probably will be fairly straightforward. You'll still see a little bit of, movement, bipping and bopping of the markets, but not that much. If it comes out with a rate decrease, a rate increase, nobody expects an increase, but a rate decrease, things will go a little bit nuts. So just be careful tomorrow because that's when the excitement's going to happen. So I'm looking forward to it. I think today's trading is going to be fairly quiet, and then tomorrow let the fun begin.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been getting SoFi on both decks here from Gator Don and also from our good buddy Single Pack. I love the name. So Single Pack over there on YouTube. Let's go to SoFi. SoFi this morning definitely in play. I 7.7 million shares traded, and this is on my list now. It wasn't earlier on our gap up list, probably because it was under 2%. Maybe I'm not sure why, but again, it is on here. Tons of volume. Yeah, this is in play. Peter, what's the news? They were in the red early this morning, 7 a.m. Now, and 2 hours later, almost they're in the green, up 3.3.
Sorry, I'm getting inundated here, man. What's everybody talking to me? Don't you know I'm busy? All right. So what are we looking at? SoFi?
SoFi, yes.
SoFi. Oh, well, look, I think this is a sympathy move because of PayPal. PayPal had earnings this morning. We mentioned that already and raised their guidance, plus having a good quarter. So, being another credit services company, I think we're seeing a little bit of sympathy out of some of these because I don't see any specific news on it.
Yeah. People are saying earnings, but I'm not sure if
Is it? I didn't see it on my
I
list.
didn't
Hold on
check
a
it.
sec.
I didn't check it.
Yeah, I don't.
Um, for earnings this
When are
morning.
earnings
Okay, so
on
maybe
SoFi?
maybe earnings, yeah. Looks like it is.
SoFi
Earnings,
earnings.
yeah.
Apparently, it was this morning. All right, my bad. Hold on a sec. Not one of the ones that I was tracking. So,
No, all good, man. It is up 3.3 right now, 7.8 million
here it
and
is.
climbing.
Hmm.
Yep.
Pretty boring. They beat on revenue. They met on bottom line earnings. Not a lot of people are covering this. It seems odd. That's really not a lot of news on it when I'm checking the news feed. Nobody cares.
Hmm, hmm.
But yeah, they had, yeah, I said solid but boring results. So okay,
Yeah.
I stand corrected. They did have earnings. Look, if you're going to trade one of these two, probably PayPal's your better bet. Would be my recommendation. Being that it's already 3 million plus shares traded compared. Well, this is 8 million shares though. What the heck?
It's 8
Look
million
at the
shares.
price
It's
action though.
7.8. Yeah. Yeah.
See, here's what
Look
I
at
don't
what?
like. If you can flip to a 1 minute chart there, we haven't talked about this in a while. So,
Yeah.
see how we've got these little tiny 1 penny candles, right? It looks a little like barcode-ish. You got these
Yeah.
weird little candles all in a row. That is indicative of algorithmic trading. That means that the computers are trading against each other. You don't want to get mixed up in that, right? You really want to be trading against other human traders. Otherwise, it's well, your patterns don't hold up. Plus, they're trading intra penny. You can't do that. So it gets hard to make profit on this when you get this type of movement, because what happens, it'll do this for a while, then you suddenly get a big move, meaning like a 10 or 15 cent move, but it could like completely mess you up because this thing was trading with the 1 to 2 penny ranges for a while. So despite the big volume, if it's doing this pre-market, that does not make me interested in it once the opening bell rings.
Yeah, it's SoFi is tough to trade. We've seen this before too, plenty of times, and I usually end up avoiding it. I'm gonna add it today because I don't know something tells me this could be nice this morning at
All
the
right.
market open. But I agree with you, Peter. It is a stock that does not trade very well, and I have not had much luck trading this one. I always kind of avoid it. But today looks interesting to me. I don't know why, but I'm
All
gonna
right.
be very cautious in taking a trade because I agree with everything you said there. It is a stock that's very difficult to trade, lower price. Sometimes it barely moves. I just want to see this could be some kind of breakout today,
But
and I don't have anything else that looks better. So we'll see.
your spidey senses are tingling, are they?
Yeah, this could be the sleeper for today, which normally
All
this
right.
would not be on my list, guys. It is a very very hard stock to trade, and given for those reasons, right? Just all the algo trading that takes place on this thing. All right, so that's SoFi here, guys. Let's take a look at Affirm. Another one's being thrown out here on our YouTube chat, and then we'll head over to community events and announcements. This morning, Affirm it is up 6.6%, 474,000 shares traded. We haven't talked about this one in a while, I feel like. So is this sympathy? Yeah, sympathy with PayPal, right? That would make sense. Unless they had their own earnings. That would make sense.
Let's see here. I don't think they
Yeah, but
had earnings, so
yeah.
yeah, it
Yeah, so
must be sympathy. I don't see them. I don't see any news on it. Their earnings are not till the end of August. So
yeah. All right. So again, getting a little bit of a move there. PayPal's the one today, guys. The one I really, really like. It's my favorite stock this morning. I'm going to add Affirm maybe to a secondary, but again, I don't know. I'm not too sure about that. We'll look at PayPal. If Affirm gets going, it can trade well. We traded it before in the past. It can get the volume. It can do some cool stuff. But PayPal is definitely the main one this morning. All right, friends, we'll stop here. Let's take a look at our mod, what's happening as far as our community and our webinars. Head over to bearwithtraders.com, and you can always see what's going on here under webinars, and we'll see what's happening for today. Today is Tuesday.
Tuesday. I got one more just before we flip over to that quickly.
Yeah.
Amazon. A couple of our members are mentioning it. I wanted to
Yes.
mention it as well. Amazon. It doesn't typically trade a lot during Prime days. Prime days were last week, I think, when it was earlier. Anyways, however, they've reported their delivery numbers. This is a new stat that normally the market doesn't look at for a lot of companies, but apparently they delivered over 5 billion packages within with a 24-hour turnaround. So, and that's a record for them, representing a 30% increase year over year. So, same day or next day. So that's That's a lot of packages. But anyway, so Amazon seems to be moving this morning. Some good volume, almost 3 million shares, 2.9 million traded so far this morning. So this might be worth putting on the list. Just it doesn't look great pre-market, I'll be honest, but it's sitting at the top end of this consolidation range it's had since early last week. Might be worth watching.
There it is. I like Amazon, guys. I'm going to put it on here as well. And they can trade very well. And I mean, 2.9 this morning already. That is awesome. All right, heading over to our community events. Tuesday, we got a new guy, Gary, this morning. Well, not this morning, this evening.
We do, and it's Tuesday, which means it's a trade book and strategy, and our trade book and strategy sessions are always well attended, and they're great sessions. So hopefully you will join us tonight at 8 o'clock if you're an elite member. All elite members have access to these webinars, and we've got a new presenter who is presenting with us tonight. And like you said, Gary is presenting. Oh man, we've got to a new format, and damned if I can read that. I'll go over here. How to trade utilizing the Fibonacci system. So if you use Fibonacci levels or you're interested in what they mean and how to use them, tonight's webinar could be a great one for you. Again, it's not 8 o'clock. I got to get this right. It's an early time. Okay, I said 8. I was wrong. 4:15 p.m. Early time, right after the market close, okay? So this is 15 minutes after the close. See, if I'd stuck to my time, I would have missed it. It's early today, right at 4:15. So hopefully you'll join us for that. That's, again, in the webinar room for all of our elite members. Next week, Brian Lamb's going to be with us, another new presenter, talking about Bookmap and how you can use it for option trading. That is at 8 o'clock. Coming August the 6th, 8 o'clock, August the 6th. So that's what we've got coming this and next week for your trade book sessions. Again, 4:15 tonight, 8 o'clock next week. If you want information on the markets, we invite you to go to tradingterminal.com and check it out. That's where we get our news. I know a couple people were talking about the scanners today. We do seem to have some data. It's market data, because I did check another scanning system that I've got as a backup, and I was getting the same type of number. So I don't know what's going on. Seems like on the back end data feeds, there's some challenges. So obviously our team will be looking at that, but I don't think it's something they can fix. It seems to be with that back-end data feed. But the scanners are always there for you. Once the market opens, usually that stuff cleans itself up, and you should be able to take advantage of that. In the meantime, you can certainly use the economic calendar. You can use the calendar of earnings that we've got here. Like we said, we were watching that after the close. We got Microsoft, AMD, my good buddy, Rio, Starbucks, and others. So we'll be looking forward to those after the market close. And of course, there's all sorts of other things like the simulator, the replay mode, the Academy of Learning courses that you can take. It's all in there at tradingterminal.com. All right, Carlos, I know we're running, well, we're not bad, but 1 or 2 minutes here slow. I'll pass it back over to you, and we'll figure out what levels we've got, and then we'll tell you what our moderators are watching. You're on mute, Carlos.
I'm on mute. Thank you so much for that. Hit the green button, my friend. Green button. There it is. All right, so we're looking at MyList, PayPal, PFE, SoFi, and Amazon this morning. We'll take a look what's happening there. And we got some other secondary stuff. I might move one of these up or just stick with these 4. We'll see what happens. Notice nobody mentioned, even on our chat, I'm checking now, nobody mentioned NVIDIA today. Nobody mentioned, we did mention Apple. Actually, we didn't go to, but let's look at Apple. But our usual suspects did not make an appearance today. And look at Apple, only 253,000 shares traded, so not really in play. NVIDIA should be on our list. 3.6 million, going from red to green here. That's gonna be on our list. That's awesome. So we'll add NVIDIA there, and that's gonna create our list. And then Tesla, good. You gotta have Tesla on the list. Got even as a secondary. It might not be on your main, but I mean, look at this, guys. 2.1 million going into the red, back into the green. you definitely got to keep an eye on Tesla. So, but PayPal, PFE this morning, SoFi, Amazon, and Nvidia are making our top list. So let's start with PayPal. As far as levels goes, high of the pre-market this morning is going to be up at 64.63. So we'll put a level there. And then low of the pre-market is pretty much with the previous day closes. You got a lot happening here. It's slightly below it, right? It's around 58.45, but definitely the previous day close is going to be your most important level as far if the price goes towards the bottom here. Look at the bigger picture on the daily. We got some pretty good levels on PayPal, and this stock can trade so well, especially with the volume it has today. The gap up of 7%. That is awesome. 60.04 is a great level on the daily. You can see that there. Got a lot of flirting going on with that here, here, and here. So a lot of support, resistance, you name it, you have it. So you want to put that on there. Another great level is going to be over 61 at 91. And notice, no coincidence, at 61.91. Also a lot happening here. So you see it there. A lot of touches happening in the pre-market already on that 61.91. So you want to have that on there. Above the pre-market highs, above 64.63, we're heading into what seems to be June and May. Got some really nice levels here. It's going to be 66.01, and then also all the way up here. Actually, the better level is going to be 67.14. The reason for that, yes, this wick looks nice, and that's the easy one to put in here. But if you look at 67.14, that is where a lot of the real action is taking place. You got 4 days there, you got 3 days here as well, slamming into that. You definitely want to slam a level there as you guys slam that thumbs up over on YouTube. So help us get to our goal this morning. We are sitting, if I look here, 143. We gotta rethink this free YouTube show, man. 143 is just not gonna cut it, Peter. What are we thinking here? That is way too low. My goodness. Are they charging you guys for the thumbs up over on YouTube? What's going on? That's a little more like it. 174. Wow. Okay. I mean, I know we're not we're not great. We're not Batman and Robin here, but come on, guys. I mean, I think we're somewhat decent. Peter, what's your thoughts on this? You have a rant?
I think you just did it.
I guess that's
there's not much I can add to that.
It's not acceptable, guys. No, we love you guys very much.
Wow, you made Carlos angry. That takes a lot.
It takes a lot. I barely get angry. You got to like run me over with a cart to get me angry. And I'm just kidding. You guys are great. Thank you so much for the support, guys. Really appreciate it. I know. Hey, listen, you settle in. I forget to hit the button sometimes when I'm watching the video. You settle in, you get your coffee. You're busy. You're busy. Who wants to take time to go hit the button? But when you hit the button, it makes us feel good inside, nice and tingly. So please hit the button. I appreciate it. Thank you guys. To 276. Now that is some love there. Love it. As Andrew says, you got to give. You got to just give. Just give away the likes. Just give it away. It'll come back and you receive things. All right, let's get back to what we're here for. It is PayPal looking really good this morning, guys. Love the action. I think it's one of my favorite stocks this morning. We're going to look at PFE today. PFE, we are up 1.6, 4.7 million shares traded. High of the pre-market, 31.98, so that looks awesome. Towards the bottom, you do have the previous day close, and the low is pretty much slamming into around yesterday's high, right in the middle of yesterday's highs and 2 days ago, 2 trading days ago. That would have been Friday. Low right there. So you're pretty set there. Let's see something. I was going to get some levels towards the top, but we're looking kind of weak right now, heading back towards the previous day close. If we were to move higher for whatever reason, let's see here. We're going back to October of last year. And the daily levels I see is going to be 32.61, and you're going to have another great one at 33.32. So we'll slam those two there. And I think we're pretty set on PFE. Again, this stock usually never makes my list, but today, we'll see what happens. They're in play, looking rather weak as they're selling off, heading back to the previous day close. So it'll be interesting. Another one that doesn't usually make my list, but I'm hoping that today they can prove me and Peter wrong. But we're on the same page. This stock trades pretty bad at times. I love the volume though. 8.2 million. I wish that volume could trade well. High of the pre-market 765. The low is going to be hanging out at 699. And once you do that, you got tons of level in the middle here. So we're not going to add any more. Towards the top, in case we can break out, we do have 781. And over here, we do have 806. So again, probably my worst taker on this list here. I might end up moving that down, guys. The more I look at it, the more I'm just like, why do I have this here? Amazon is good, tons of volume, but you got to be patient with it. During the day, they have these crazy moves that we want to be around for and take advantage of. 184.48 is the high of the pre-market, and the low is going to be at 182.75. Towards the bottom, highs and lows of the last 2 trading days got you covered, doing an amazing job there. And look at this area of resistance, which we're slamming our head into right now in the pre-market, trying to do that in our pre-market high. If we can break out of that, great level at 186.21 and then over at 89.34. Nvidia, tons of volume as usual, was in the red this morning, now in the green. Our low is all the way down at 110.22. Our high of our pre-market being tested right now, actually it's a little bit higher. It's right over here at 112.04. So that's being tested, was in the red, now trying to move higher. Looking good so far. Look at every day here. Even on the gap up, sell off, sell off, sell off, sell off. It's been just selling off here. It has had like one green day as far as the candlesticks in the last 2-3 weeks, man. So it's just been a lot of weakness after the market open. Here 113 of 74 is a great level. We'll slam one there and we'll see how Nvidia looks in a couple of minutes. Peter, let's take it to what our moderators have this morning. Let's see what's happening there.
Yeah, well, our moderators have a lot of difference actually in their list today. I'm going to start at the top and move my way down. Thor was first in today. Nvidia, AMD, and Tesla are the top three he's watching, of course, and his futures. Mike is just sticking with PayPal. He's hitting the road soon, but he's going to try and watch PayPal this morning. Megan's going to be watching Tesla exclusively. Oh, no, sorry, she added Amazon. So Tesla and Amazon. I'm going to be watching Amazon too because I'm one of the 5 billion packages. Here was mine. I just got it. Well, actually, maybe it was after that. I got it yesterday. We'll talk about that in a second if we have time. Pierre is watching Tesla, Nvidia, and Amazon. Jared is going to be watching Microsoft and Affirm with a secondary list of PayPal and ASTS, one we haven't talked about. Brian is going to be watching Affirm, Nvidia, Amazon, Tesla, and PayPal. So you see today, a lot of people are watching those Tesla, PayPal, and Affirm around that area. Just like me, I'm going to be watching AMD, of course. Probably no surprise there. Tesla, PayPal, Amazon, Pfizer, and Novavax. So keep an eye on that sector. Brandon is going to be watching Tesla, Nvidia, and AMD. Phil is going to be watching Nvidia, Tesla, Amazon, and Novavax, NVAX. And last but not least, Andrew is going to be watching Affirm and PayPal today with some of the usual suspects on his list, Nvidia, Amazon, and Tesla as well. There are no IPOs scheduled for today or SPACs to come out, so we shouldn't expect any of those. And hopefully you guys have a good trading day because we got some good prospects. Don't know if they're actually going to move or not, right? What you need to do is watch at the open, wait and see what happens, and then take advantage of it if and when you can. So, yeah, that's what we got, Carlos, on the list for this morning.
All right. Sounds awesome, guys. All right, looking forward to today. Again, we got to be patient. The big day is tomorrow, but we got some good stuff tonight. We got Nvidia. No, sorry, we got AMD, Microsoft, and I do like Starbucks, so I'm going to mention Starbucks as well on earnings after the close today. So look out for that. Andrew's list just came in. I'm not sure. Did you read this one yet, Peter? Is Affirm and PayPal for Andrew? You did? Yep. Okay. I must have missed it. Sorry. There it is, friends. Andrew and is Brian around? Brian trading live next. These guys are going to take it through the market open and look for opportunities today. So take care, guys. Stay safe over on YouTube. Thank you so much for the likes. We're sitting at a good number now. I feel all warm and fuzzy inside. That's awesome. So thank you, guys. 340 likes. Excellent. Don't forget, tomorrow is laptop day. Tomorrow's Wednesday, so laptop day. We got it. This is good practice for tomorrow because tomorrow we need 500 likes to get the laptop giveaway. So got to get the 500 likes to get the laptop giveaway unlocked, right? So definitely be on the lookout for that. All right, I see Brian is on. Good morning, Brian. How you doing?
Good morning. Looking good.
There he is.
Good morning.
Yep. Hey.
Not as good as you with that sign on the back there. That's looking pretty.
Yeah, look at that.
Love it.
Yeah, it's my big score from the office. From the office exit. So there you go.
Lovely.
Yeah. So here
All
we
right,
go.
5 minutes to the open.
PayPal just took a bit of a hit there and dropped through the VWAP. I'm not really sure what's going on, but that's certainly gapping up, trading down. So maybe there's some opportunity here for a lead balloon trade, as I like to call them. So, wow. Interesting. So let's just see what happens here. Firms dropping a little bit. Still got 5 minutes to the open, but yeah, PayPal's looking a little weak here. Just looking at it's trading below the VWAP right now. So we'll see how it goes out here in the last couple of minutes before we get into the trading day. But yeah, so that one's setting up nicely for possible short. Amazon is looking is still looking relatively strong. The Qs are trading at the high of the pre-market. Same with the SPY. Pretty close to high of the pre-market on the SPY. Yeah, PayPal would be the lead balloon trade. Yes, that's what I'm thinking here. Gapping up, but trading below the VWAP and looking a little on the weak side. So we'll see what happens when they open. If we get a pop back up to maybe the VWAP or some of these moving averages, might consider it for a short trade. Oh, sorry, I should share my screen here. Let's get some over there. I believe Andrew is trading in PCT this morning. So if one of the other moderators want to join me, that'd be cool.
Yeah, Thor's getting ready to join you in a minute here. So Thor will be going to be coming on and joining you in a sec.
Perfect.
So
Awesome.
he's getting fired up. Good to go.
All right.
There he is.
I just needed a different link. I got the link, and
Okay.
I am here. Hey, buddy.
Yeah, we do have some. Good morning. Yeah, we do have. Well, we got consumer confidence and jobs opening at 10. Look at PayPal's looking real weak here. What else have we got for the downside? Oh, we got 62 there.
Yeah, I'm watching a lot. I'm watching kind of like the Q SPY situation. We're kind of a little high already. We've done a lot of northward movement in the after hours. We sold a bit. We've rallied all the way back up. So I'm really interested to see what happens basically right where we are. I want to see if we find buyers here, if we get a sell start coming in. So I'm kind of watching that.
Qs are breaking out of firm. There's a bunch of stuff breaking out here. A firm is breaking out. Amazon's breaking out. The Qs are breaking out of this trading range that we've been in. All right, getting ready. We got 30 seconds. Good luck. And
yes, sir.
Keep your, make sure to follow your trade strategy. It's kind of an ugly spread on PayPal right now, 35 cents. Tesla's gone red on the day. Nvidia's gone red on the day.
Ding,
Here we
ding,
go.
ding,
Ding, ding, ding.
Finding some sellers right out of the open on these things, which isn't surprising since we were relatively high when we opened. Let me get a screen share up. as well. All right, let's go. So I actually, because we were opening right near R4, I went ahead and threw short right before the open, and just threw my stop right above R4. So I'm getting a really nice sell right the get it. If it squeezes, I'll go out of it. Otherwise, we'll just kind of hang on here. Not too bad. Look at that squeeze coming.
Yeah, let's see. NVIDIA squeeze back up.
Whee! This market's so fun. Look at that squeeze. All right. Let's see if we can find some fun tickers.
I'm just watching PayPal. There's nothing happening yet that I'm keen on jumping in on.
Tesla's selling down into a buying range.
Yeah, so Tesla's dropping here.
Right now, we're kind of in a selling range more so on like the market, but we seem to be finding a pretty good amount of buyers. They're trying to push here. Not doing a great job at it, though. A seller keeps just bludgeoning the price anytime it gets up there.
Yeah, I'm long PayPal here through 64. It's just not trading very cleanly, but I think it's going to push higher here. Firm is taking off. Amazon's taking off.
I'm watching Tesla right now to see if something sets up down here on it. A little high in the daily chart still, though, but...
Just sold a little more PayPal at 64.12. There's an order
book's still pretty bearish. There goes the Qs are rolling a little bit again.
Selling some more PayPal, 64.40.
They keep finding a buyer here, but they're selling into them now pretty aggressively. One thing I was noticing was we had a little bit of a sell in some of the other markets, but a lot of them recovered. So I was looking at like some of the European markets, but
right. Big rejection on PayPal. See what it does, but I'm just back at break even here on the rest. I might see what's. There's still a lot of orders to the upside, but with it, see what it does.
Yeah, I still haven't found something I really like equity wise as far as getting into something. So I'm still kind of just hanging out.
I'm going to sell some more 6410. I don't like the way it's kind of hesitating here. Qs are back up to high of day. Same with the SPY. Ooh, Amazon. Wow. Holy crap. What the heck happened there? Amazon just took a major dive. Wow. Okay, now we're going to maybe get another push here on, we're at high of day on PayPal. Q's breaking out, SPY's breaking out. Okay, they took out that order at 64.50 on PayPal. There's a lot of orders at 65, around 65, so maybe we get there. Just sticking with PayPal here. I should have added on that pullback that we got.
Watching Tesla down here. It's kind of come into a buyer that's been holding. I'm trying to see if they're going to hold it and try and squeeze off of this buyer or not. The market tried to break out and immediately found a seller and started selling. So there's some stuff going on here.
Sold a little bit more PayPal, 81. That was weird that that Amazon, lost almost like $3 in a heartbeat. Well, yeah, exactly, Hector. Yeah, this wasn't the way usually a lead balloon trades, but not every setup works exactly the way you expect it to. Tesla's at S3. I'm not sure. It's looking like it's trying to bounce here. Looking for 65 now on PayPal. Here it comes. Come on. There we go. Baby. Sold.
Yeah, it looks like somebody on Amazon, it was holding underneath a large order at like 186, and then someone on market just dumped like almost 100,000 shares into the book on market order. So that, which is a lot of markets. So, and that's why it had such a wild movement there.
Okay, well, I'm out of PayPal. 65 was what I was looking for on that last exit. So yeah, AMD is breaking out too here. AMD's got some levels at 142. Qs are breaking out. Risk on, baby. It's a risk on day.
All right. I went ahead and I grabbed a couple of shares of Tesla down off of S3. So I'm kind of keeping an eye on it now to see if we get a move. If we come back down, I'll get out of this one. But I like this. It was a higher range directional move to S3. Found a buyer there. So I sat on top of it. Now I'm just going to see if we get any continuation on it or not. Target's going to be 4-1 off a low a day. So I'd be looking for a move to around 230, 250, a little bit above that for my target.
Yeah, nice.
You can see here I'm in.
Excuse me.
There goes the seller.
Shit, low. Damn, look at NVIDIA just dropped.
Yeah, the market in Q or Q's another. Again, we tried to push up. We couldn't get any buyers to come in. And then as soon as it stalled, someone just came in and bludgeoned the book with selling. I've actually seen that on a few tickers like Amazon here, where it just seems like they're not even like being shy about it. They're just tossing huge positions in. Here we go. I'm short in Q.
Wow, NVIDIAs are really getting whacked here. It's too extended to short it now. Tesla looks like it might have more downside here, actually.
You see here, I thought we were going to sell before, so I took a short at 9:30 when we opened and pulled back. I went short and ran my stop up here, and I got triggered out for a loss. So, but once since we were holding this range and we just weren't finding any buy side volume, I went ahead and re-entered my short and just gave myself a little more space. So, and right now we're selling down. My target is right down here, which, hold on, you should be able to see.
Yeah, I'm short a little bit of Tesla, just small size for now. Here we go. We're going to lose 228. There it is. So just I'm going to cover some. I'm going to cover some Tesla to set 227.80.
So you can see here, I was risking 200 at my on my trade. I risk 200 every trade I take. For everyone who's tuning in the YouTube world and out there, just wanted to remind everybody we've got Brian, the Prophet of Profit, and I'm Thor. Hi, trading. Where I'm here in the seat for Andrew. Andrew is actually doing a live trading session right now with the fine people at P Capital. One of the big benefits to getting to trade work with P Capital is actually all the live trading sessions. I do live trading sessions with them. Most of the moderators that are in BBT and abroad end up doing these trading sessions with. So it's really cool. And today they get the privilege of basically trading one-on-one with Andrew, which is pretty sweet. So
yeah,
anyway,
there you go. Diddly doodly.
Diddly doodly indeed.
What do you know? What do you know? So Q is really choppy. Like I'm throwing wicks all over the place here. Amazon is wow, just incredible. Yeah, if you're out there on YouTube, like, subscribe if you haven't already. Some of our traders are taking some trades on NVIDIA. Got some shorts on that. Anyone trade PayPal this morning? How wide is my risk on Tesla? Well, I'm in it just under 229, 228.90. So I'm just looking at the 9 EMA right now. So that's kind of where my risk is, which is maybe about right now 20 or 30 cents. So it looks like it's coming back up here. The firm still looks strong.
I'm still just hanging out in this really lovely NQ trade I've got going on here. For those of you out there in YouTube land who aren't familiar with futures, I like to do a lot of my trading these days via futures. So basically, I'm just trading the Qs right now. I'm just doing a little different using these contracts.
Mm-hmm.
One moment. I'll be right back. I gotta grab something.
For sure. I want to see what NVIDIA looks like. Bookmap. We can pull that up. Kind of choppy, or at least it's kind of, I don't know. There are some orders here on the downside. It's just obviously trading below the VWAP. A firm has some orders to the upside. Still looking a little strong. Tesla, as long as we stay below the 9 EMA, I'm good.
I'm still just holding. Fingers crossing.
Fingers crossing, still holding.
Yep.
There goes AMD. AMD's losing it. It's going to go green, go red on the day. Don't know if Tesla has a whole lot more downside. Let's see here. Well, I'm just shocked at how Amazon just popped and at the open and then dropped like a stone.
Like a rock, man.
Yeah.
It's in an interesting spot now, for sure. Tesla finding a buyer. I'm going to go ahead and attach my... I'm going to start trailing the 50 SMA, aka the poor man's trend line. If since we're underneath it and we're consolidating, moving lower, if this comes back up and goes through the 50, I'll just take whatever profit is left in it at that point. So I'm going ahead and attached my, so you can see here, no matter what happens, I'm going to make 187.50 on this position. If it hits my target, I'll make around 800.
And I'm out of Tesla, back at break even on the rest. Actually, a little slippage there, to be honest. But I had to get some partials lower, so.
Jason, we have a this chart is Ninja is the program that has this, and it's an add-on that you can download, but it's like called the Order Line Decorator. I think it's by if you look for Gemify, I think you can find it. We do have news coming out at 10, and it'll probably be the news, if any, that'll kind of get things rocking and rolling a little bit today. So keep that in mind. If you go to your tradingterminal.com for everybody out there, which, pretty stinking good stuff here. One of my favorite tabs is the calendar tab. So you can come here and you can see that it's coming out at right here, consumer confidence. JOLTS is coming out at the same time, but consumer confidence is really the metric that'll probably move things around. Still holding. They say boring trading is good trading. I hope you.
That's okay. You know what? I like the way you trade, Thor. It's just you don't have to make a lot of trades. Just find one that's an A or A plus setup and just stick with it.
Just hammer it.
Just hammer it. Yeah.
Just get that set up. Well, it's very true. I think, one thing you'll find, which is so interesting about all the moderators at Bearable Traders, is we've all kind of just gravitated into our own little niches within the sector. But it's so interesting to see that no one moderator is exactly the same, which I think is a real testament to, to trading and the BBT community, that it's really, maybe it's not just one thing that works. Maybe there's a personality, component to it.
Mm-hmm. Boy, PayPal's really finally selling off here.
Come on. That's all I need to finish my day off. Come down and hit this order, and we'll just go get some lobster and call it a day. So I don't take a partial at 4-1. I go all out at 4-1. So I don't partial at all. I just go for specific targets on trades. So I'm kind of like a scalper, but bigger. Like I'm not really going for like, trying to get a bunch of shares to take a small partial. I'm just like for instance, I'm only on I'm using 4 contracts of M&Q right now. So I mean, my total risk on this trade's $200. Hopefully, I'm going to make 800 on it, and my total commissions, because it's only 4 contracts of M&Q, my total commissions on this trade will be like, I don't know, $4 and something cents or something like that. It'll be a very small trade, commissions wise. So now we're just hanging out and seeing if I hit this target. And either way, you can see I have a trailing stop going here. That's following the moving average. So even if this doesn't hit, I'm still going to make over 200 on this position. So I guess my partial would be if it comes back up to 200. Well, what I found, Ivo, is I often get the best price. I sell high and buy low. I'm pretty good at that. So the thing I do, and what's hard not to do, is just mess with it. You start partialing it and taking spots off and all this. Had a great price. Now you don't. Come on, Q's. One nice flush here, and I'd be rocked out.
Nice little 920 on Tesla. I kind of missed that, but 920 trade.
How many shares do I buy per trade, Mohammed? Well, 4 contracts for NQ, but I use fixed risk hotkey, so I trade based upon like a dollar amount of risk. So it really depends on what stock I'm trading. If I'm trading like Tesla, for instance, at $200, I'm going to get a lot more shares at a 150 risk than I am on like an Nvidia, for instance, or maybe even something else. So the shares aren't static, but the risk is. Come on, one big flush here.
Oh, we're gonna go red on the Qs, maybe. Pretty close.
Nvidia getting down to S4.
Yeah.
It's a lower range too. So this is where I could look for a bounce on. We have S4 on the month plus S4 on the intraday, all grouped right here on NVIDIA. So if I get a really strong VPA signal down here, it could be a fun spot to look for a bounce.
Somewhere around 108. We got news coming up here in
yeah, we got news.
1 minute.
Hopefully the news will come out and it'll take me out, and then we'll be good to go. 4-1 normally, Mohammed. Okay. 30 seconds. And then actually after the news comes out, I have an appointment I got to run to. So
okay.
It was fun hanging and trading with everybody out there in YouTube land and all that. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm still, no matter what happens, this is basically my trade for the day anyway. So we're just going to kind of see how well I do on it otherwise. But
number coming out in 3 seconds.
Okay, here we go.
All right, it's out. Numbers are above targets. So consumer confidence is higher than expected. Job numbers came out slightly higher than expected. So we'll see how the market reacts, if at all. Remember, big numbers tomorrow. So the market's going to be pretty quiet on this, waiting for that interest rate number release tomorrow. But both the consumer confidence and job openings came out higher than anticipated.
Numbers, maybe that'll make it sell better.
Yeah, it looks like, Thor, you might get to your target here. Hopefully the market drops.
Come on.
I mean, when those economic numbers are higher, the market tends to push down a little bit, right? So just remember that. We'll see if we can get a push down. We're sitting on the Qs just about at yesterday's close. Got my fingers crossed for you, Thor. Good luck.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I need it. Just a little bit.
Wow, the firm just dropped on that number.
Just a little bit. Oh, come on. Don't tease me. Here we go. Yeah! There we go. Go market. Thank you for the help. Sweet. Well, on that note, I'm going to take off because what a better way to wrap the day than with a successful trade for everybody. So I'm going to take off. I hope everybody has a great rest of your trading day. And I'll see all the BBT members on in an hour. All right, bye.
Right on. Thank you, Thor, for joining. And yeah, the Qs have definitely gone red here. NVIDIA continues to roll over. I'm kind of looking at it. NVIDIA, I want to go long here, but there's just a whole bunch of orders stacked down to the downside. So it's kind of giving mixed signals here. Kind of feel like it wants to sell more. But Qs selling off, SPY sold off. SPY looks like it's going to test PDC, previous day close. Have a bounce on NVIDIA now. We're going to bounce back a bit here. Well, that was kind of the bounce I was looking for on NVIDIA, back to 108. A lot of orders to the downside here. Firm's kind of bouncing back a little bit. Kind of SPY and Q's kind of bouncing a bit. Just looking for something that's interesting to trade, and I'm not really seeing anything right now. Tesla bounced back. Oh, nice. There's the bounce on NVIDIA. Again, I'm just feeling the FOMO now. So nothing... Tesla's coming back up. Another test of the VWAP, maybe. Oh, nice. Jared caught that bounce. Beauty. So it's at the 9 EMA right now. So just probably going to see some resistance here. Getting a bounce back on the Qs and the SPY. Now let's can take a look at what NVIDIA looks like here on the for orders. Still not a lot of orders to the upside. A lot of there's orders up here that kind of no intention to fill. 120, 116. They're way too far out of the money right now to be serious. These ones down here are areas might see something come down there. All right, well, we got through the 9 EMA on NVIDIA. Get to 109. 109.60 is the VWAP. All right, Jared caught that bounce on NVIDIA. And we came in and just dropped below S4. Well, I hope some of the other people in the room caught that NVIDIA bounce. That was definitely a reversal there. Good reversal off a level. All right. Tesla's looking, or Nvidia's looking like it's going to roll over a bit here. Maybe head back down to these areas where there's some liquidity. Yeah, PayPal's kind of getting choppy, quite choppy around the VWAP. All right. Anyone else got a trade on? I don't. I'm not holding anything right now. Just kind of sitting on my hands right now. I don't know what the market's going to do. Seems like we had a sell-off on those numbers. A bit of a bounce back.
Hey Brian, can you hear me?
I can, yep.
Since things are a little bit, weak right now, or you don't really
Yeah.
have any good trades, I was wondering if you could answer some questions in YouTube.
Yeah, sure. I don't have the YouTube channel feed up, so
I can ask for you. There's somebody in the
yeah, sure.
channel, just kind of asking why is everything so bearish today?
Well, let's see. I didn't see the numbers. What were I guess the numbers were a little bit better than expected. So I think the markets are kind of looking for sort of bad news is good news. I mean, they want. It seems like everybody's hanging their hat on this, rate cut. These rate cuts that are going to come, and right now the odds-on favorite for a September rate cut are almost 100%. So rate cuts are, generally speaking, are good for the market. So they want to see numbers that sort of give Powell and the other Fed members some comfort in lowering the interest rates. So if they continue to see the economy strong, consumer strong, consumer confidence strong, jobs numbers strong, they're going to be sort of less likely to cut. So, like I said, it seems like the market is really fixated on getting some rate cuts. So again, with these good numbers today, it doesn't really help the argument for the Fed to cut rates. So I think that was the reaction from the numbers that came out. As Peter already mentioned this morning, there's basically almost zero chance that, or at least the odds on favored are almost a zero chance for a rate cut here in in this meeting that's coming up, announcement that's coming up tomorrow. But and then there is no August meeting of the Fed, so there won't be any won't be any talking points, or there won't be any announcements on a cut in August because there's no meeting. But September, like I said, everybody seems to be focused on this September meeting. So,
Is it better just to stay on the sidelines when we're kind of waiting for those numbers?
well, certainly, I think the markets have gotten. We've had a pullback in the markets, just generally speaking. We've had a bit of a rotation. We had a rotation out of a couple of weeks ago. We got this big rotation out of some of the the big seven stocks, and back into the small caps. So there's certainly money floating around out there. It's just where you want to put your money. The small caps tend to benefit from lower interest rates because they're the ones that aren't. Generally speaking, they're not making money. So a lot of these small cap stocks are not making money, so they kind of depend on the debt market to keep their businesses running. So they're the ones that tend to do a little bit better in a lower interest rate environment. That's why we got that rotation. So we did get a nice bump up. We had a huge bump up on the IWM over the last couple of weeks, but I think that's kind of right now that's kind of run out of steam. I think that trade's run out of steam. So, I mean, summer tends to be a little quieter, of course, with holidays and stuff. So, but generally speaking, I mean, if you look at seasonality, August tends to be a pretty decent month for small caps. So, we'll if you're going to be in something, maybe the small caps are the where to be right now. But of course, and now that we're in the thick of earnings season, and this really is the epicenter right here, where we've got all these really big tech names reporting. A lot of people are going to be sort of watching, how those numbers come out.
I got another question for you from YouTube.
Sure.
If you're interested. Deep Insight is asking, is there a reason you don't regularly trade options strategies during the morning sessions?
Usually I trade options, but usually not till later when things settle down a little bit. It's just easier to trade the stocks. I find than trading the options. I mean, I know people like some of our people that trade options more, I'd say almost exclusively, such as Megan. I mean, but she even waits a few minutes before, she won't trade the options right away. She won't jump in right away. I'm really trading at the beginning, at the open. We're just trading momentum, and it's you got to let the market settle out a bit. It's better. I find it a little bit better to find a trend and then trade options. So about this time of day, I might look for some option trades if I can find something that I like that's trending. But right now, we're just getting the SPY and the Qs are just throwing wicks on either side of candles, and we just seem to be sort of not trending. So it's maybe not the best day for me to trade options, but yeah. So that's kind of why I stick to stocks right at the open, and then I'll look for options trades a little later in the morning when things settle down a bit.
The questions keep coming in. If you're interested, or if you see a trade,
let's do it. There isn't. I'm continuing to look for a trade as we chat. So yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, guys, bring the questions. I got another one from, I hope I'm saying this right, Dull Shaken.
Okay,
so would you recommend trading futures for new traders as opposed to trading options?
I know Thor really likes. I mean, I'm not a guy that I probably could be in a position to answer a question about trading futures because I don't do it. I know Thor, he started trading futures and he said, he wouldn't look back now. So, um, I I think futures are a whole sort of different animal, really,
Then I got a better
than
question for you.
options. Yeah.
We'll reserve that for Thor next time. If you see Thor again, ask that again, Deep Insight. But here's
Yeah.
a really good one that I'm
But
interested in too. Oh,
yeah.
go ahead. Oh,
No, I was just going to say, I mean, the first thing you should do before you trade futures or options is get an understanding of how stocks trade. I think you want to learn stock trading first before you sort of jump into options. And as far as the futures go, I mean, yeah, it's a whole separate sort of entity in itself. So, yeah. Anyway, go ahead with the other question.
well, this is what I'm interested in as well. Okay, if I'm ever pronouncing these things wrong, I'm sorry. Hernath Mupne, YouTube names. God. Is is Bookmap really helpful?
I find it helpful. Yes, I mean, is it a necessity? I don't think it's a necessity, but it's certainly a nice tool. Um, just looking at maybe Nvidia short here. The market's rolling over. It's a nice tool to have. I mean, basically, Bookmap gives you a sort of a visual presentation of what's going on in the level two. So, we have traders that actually can read the level two. And I mean, you can read the level two. You can see where, excuse me. Always have to get the throat going in the morning. You can see on your level two where there's areas of orders. Orders tend to gravitate to where there's liquidity. So it's helpful to see where the liquidity is. Like with Nvidia right now, you can see all these areas of liquidity right here, and we may actually make our way down into them at some point. It's really going to partly depend on what the market does here, but it's a tool, and no tools are 100%. If they were 100%, then the market would figure it out, and they'd no longer be 100%. But again, for me, I find that it's helpful to see the level two in a very sort of pictorial way, as opposed to try to go down the two columns and see the numbers and try to find where there's areas of liquidity that the market could be moving the stock price to.
Great.
All right.
Yeah, I'll get you back to trading.
Yeah. Yeah, there Ad Zeros is asking, are there some video lessons on Bookmap? I believe we have. I believe we do have some videos on Bookmap. I mean, I think Thor was one of the original moderators that actually started using Bookmap, and there'll probably be some in our education center. There is probably you will find some stuff there. There's also lots of YouTube videos, and Bookmap has their own sort of training stuff. So you can check out lots of stuff on YouTube, as well as I believe we also have some here. So
yeah, your YouTube channel is a great source.
Yeah, I'm shorted. I shorted Nvidia there. 108.20. just gonna cover some here because we're kind of down to an area where there could be some support. So 107.96. That was very timely. I just hit that just before we got this big volume flush here. That wasn't all me. So like I said, I suspect this is going to probably, this might find some support down in this area. This is S4, 107.70. But like I said, there's still these big areas of liquidity that that still need, still has buyers here. These are just big buyers that are just waiting. This is this is what they call a buyer's market. So stocks going down. So it seems a little bit backwards to say it's a buyer's market, but when if you're in the housing market, a buyer's market is when basically there's lots of houses for sale and nobody buying, and right now there's lots of stock for sale down here, and the buyers are just waiting at these lower levels, thinking that they are going to get filled. So right now it's a bit of a buyer's market in Nvidia. And these market makers, they make money doing transactions. So this is why these stock prices often gravitate to these areas of liquidity, because that's where market makers are going to do transactions as well here. So.
Good morning, everybody.
Okay, good morning. I'm just going to cover a little more here, 107.80.
Brian, I am fucked. Do you still have the CrowdStrike puts?
Unfortunately, yes, I shorted some CrowdStrike.
I am down $200,000. What happened overnight?
I don't know. There was some news came out about it.
Delta is suing CrowdStrike. Shit.
That's not surprising.
So that's a perfect example of do not mess around with these options. I couldn't believe this morning. I said, damn, by the way, I was trading with the Peak Capital traders. We had really good trading on PayPal and NVIDIA. So we did opening range breakout on PayPal. So I'm sharing my screen. So we did a really nice opening range breakout on PayPal. So 1 minute opening range breakout added. So then, and then NVIDIA, we took a really nice reversal from S4 at 107.30 all the way to 109. But CrowdStrike, damn, man. I'm short 245 puts on CrowdStrike, and it was really good yesterday. I was up like 20 grand, and then today I'm down 200 grand. This one is just gap down 8%. I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, and that's why I only took a few options. I only took a few options. Actually, it's funny.
Go.
I was just going to say, we did the same trade. I took the PayPal opening range breakout as well. And right now I'm just going to cover some more NVIDIA.
And I'm sorry, guys. Don't follow me on these options trade because I'm not really good at managing risk. What I should have done is when I sold the puts at 245, I should have bought some puts at 230, but they were really cheap at 230. So you protect yourself. That's called credit spread.
Hey Andrew, since we got you here, do you mind going a little bit longer on YouTube today?
Yeah, go, because I wasn't there. How's the YouTube doing? How are you doing, guys?
YouTube's doing well. Give us those likes to go longer, people.
Oh, yeah, thank you. So, yeah, give us 500 likes, we go longer. Sorry, I was trading live with Peak Capital traders. So that bootcamp is coming to an end. So we have live trading sessions with Q&A. Everybody can come on the mic. It was really nice. So we traded NVIDIA and PayPal together. It was really good discussion. The funded training account, we saw that who's PTT number 18? Who's the account number 18? One of our traders, in 2 days, he made $3,000 from that small account. So it's really, really good. Go open up your account. Don't trade my money. So it's really good. Some of our traders are really doing great in this funded account. Who's 18? Is it in the chat room? Who's PTT 18? Are you in the chat room? Just go open, trade your own account. That was awesome. No, this number 18 is a really, really good trader. I think there are a couple of them really, really trading really well. So CrowdStrike 237 until Friday. PayPal, I don't think. Let me see. Actually, I don't know. PayPal, it was a little bit disappointing. It popped up toward the higher pre-market 64.51 to 65. It came down. It looks like it's going back up, but it's definitely not momentum. If you want to go long, you got to be patient. Land it on, all day. It's going to go up, something like that. It definitely doesn't have momentum anymore. It might continue grinding up.
Yeah, volume's really dropping off on it.
NVIDIA, I took a really nice trade. For those of you who are in the chat room, I took a really nice V reversal at S4 live in the chat room with people. And now it's coming back and testing it. The next level is 106.86. It looks like it wants to sell off toward 106.86. So if it goes there, I might take another reversal on it.
Yeah, I know. I looked at that trade. I know Jared took it. I wish it just dropped a little bit below S4. Now you can see we're getting into these pools of liquidity here that we're chomping away at.
Yeah, I know, guys. My CrowdStrike is really bad. I don't know what to do with it, actually. I have 200 contracts on it. That wipes out the whole weeks of profit.
I think if you're going to trade that size, I mean that's a really big size. You got to have you got to put some protection on that size of a trade.
These options are like fireworks. Actually, stay away from them like a baby.
And Qs are selling off more. God, NVIDIA could be going to $100 in the not so distant future. But we do have AMD this week. We've got it at the end of the day here.
So NVIDIA is going to this important level, 106.86. That this level bounced back 3 days ago, which was a really nice bounce. If we got it, you remember that? If I want to mark it down to that low of that area was 106.33. So it's selling off 106.41 or something like that around this area. Potentially a bounce from there.
Yeah, there's still lots of liquidity down underneath this price. 106, 105. Q's going to yesterday's low.
It's setting up, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, VDA might be a bounce around this 106.39 level. Let's see where we can take it. CrowdStrike is setting up, huh? Evening, Brian. How was your day? You traded PayPal?
Yeah, I traded PayPal. I did probably the exact same trade you did. Took a breakout. Had a bit of a short on Tesla. Worked out okay. There goes NVIDIA. Still short a little NVIDIA.
So I don't trade futures, no, Adele. I trade shares, common shares, and I trade options. Well, the taxes is the best way is talk to your accountant to see what's the best. I'm corporated, so as a corporation, I taxed as a corporation. Like the first $500,000 taxed at 10%, and then the rest is taxed at 28%. So, and the losses also you can carry over the losses for your corporation, but it's the best to talk to an accountant to how to structure it. VDA is doing, potentially we can catch a reversal in VDA. 639. So 106.39 is that level that bounced back 3 days ago. It could be an important level to bounce. Market is selling off. SPY is down, Q's down.
Yeah.
Brian, what's going to happen? The war is ending, huh?
I guess. It's just getting a bit of a pullback. Yeah, Bitcoin's at 66,000 now.
Bitcoin also rejected the all-time high.
Yeah.
What did Thor trade?
I think he traded the Qs, I think, with futures. I think he was looking for he traded kind of a bit of a reversal there when the Qs tried to break out and then failed. And a nice little bounce on NVIDIA.
Yeah, it was difficult to catch it. It was out of nowhere.
Yeah. Everything's bouncing a bit, so the Q's bounced off yesterday's low.
Who's Trader 18, by the way? Who's the funded account Trader 18? Is he in the chat or she in the chat?
I don't know.
Chat. Very good. Do you know her, Megan? I gotta find the name. Whoever it is, trading really, really nicely. Like, I'm very, very happy with that. Must be Lisa, yeah. Well, so NVIDIA bounced back from out of nowhere. Tesla bounced back from the VWAP. PayPal PayPal definitely doesn't have momentum. So it's not definitely a scalp. It might continue grinding up all day, but if you want to go long, you have to be putting a wide stop and be very patient on it. Definitely not big size. I took opening range breakout on it with the PCT traders. So when long added more, and then for the break of high pre-market added more. So we get really nice from 63.20 to 65. That was nice. $106.70. Yeah, NVIDIA was ready to take it at $106.39, but I don't want to take it in the middle of nowhere. $106.39 and $106.40 is a level. I took it again with the traders. Again, it's my screen. You can see my screen. I took it from the bounce from S4. I took this one, which was very nice. On a 5 minute, you can actually see that. It was a really nice doji reversal. But now it's selling off below 106.40. I might actually take it at below 106.40. Let's see how it's selling off. It's down 4%. It's unbelievable, this NVIDIA is. In the last 2 weeks, it has been down 40%. It's a $3 trillion company. Trades like this.
Q is still weak. Still pretty weak here. I think we'll find a bottom here at some point in the markets. We might be getting close to it right now. We might see a bit of a comeback.
A firm, what did the firm do? Nothing, huh? The firm traded like a garbage.
And it kind of popped up at the open and then sold off, and now it's sort of coming back a bit. All right. Well, let's call it a day on YouTube. All the people in YouTube, thanks for joining us today. Hopefully, you'll be able to take get a few opportunities to trade today. Just remember, you're watching us on a delayed feed, so if you want to join us, you know what to do.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Appreciate that.
Yep. Thanks, everybody.
So see you tomorrow, chat. Tomorrow, laptop, guys. Laptop giveaway tomorrow.
Yeah.
Don't forget on YouTube.
Laptop giveaway day tomorrow.
The laptop giveaway.
Cheers, buddy.